Hello, today I am reading Space Life Chapter 2. I stared at my parents in anger and disbelief. What? Last night you said we would investigate what I saw. My parents had decided at some point that whatever I saw was now a figment of my imagination. Shayla, we really need to try to figure out how to repair the long range communications, Mom said impatiently. Now is not the time to get lost in the woods looking for something that likely can't be found. But you promised, I cried, tears starting to well up in my eyes. Of all the times for them to go back on their word, this was the worst. I saw something, and they were acting like I was a 4-year-old with a monster under my bed. We know, Shayla, but as your mother said, we need to figure this problem out. The sooner we get it sorted, the sooner we can arrange a rescue to get off this planet, Dad said, trying to rationalize the situation as usual. Fine, I'll figure out what I saw on my own, I screamed at them. Then I turned and ran in the direction I had wandered when looking for the dry wood. I could hear my parents yelling after me. I knew I'd be in trouble later, but I didn't care. They forced me to leave my life behind without any kind of discussion. Now this, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to get away from them. It didn't matter where. The tears were streaming down my face. It was hard to see where I was going. After running for a couple minutes, I sobbed into my arm, leaning into a tree for support. How could they do this to me? Straightening up and looking around, I realized this was where I had seen the figure the night before. I stomped over to where I had seen the figure, looking for any clues about where they had gone. How are you here? A voice behind me demanded. Spinning around, I see a boy about my age standing in front of me wearing a dark brown cloak. He could have passed for human if he wasn't light purple with cat ears. His pink eyes were hard as stone as he regarded me. How did you land on this planet? My people have taken great care to not allow outsiders to even scan this planet. We crashed. We were traveling through this galaxy on our way to another when we got struck by an asteroid. And you are? I responded coldly. I wasn't in the mood for this jerk's attitude. Then it hit me. You're not human. Are you from this world? This is my home world, Regram. My name is Lim, and clearly I am not human. What gave it away? The ears? Lim snorted. I belong to the Honorable Kitdane race. Lim's eyes narrowed. Hit by an asteroid. Not likely one of ours, unless. Were you trying to scan it as you passed by any planets? I don't know. I had fallen asleep in my quarters before we got hit. I don't even know what the ship could do. I wasn't allowed to do anything with the ship's functions. My parents were afraid that I would try turning us around and getting lost. I responded indifferently. I don't know who this guy thinks he is, but I don't think he was that special. Wait, how is it that I can understand you? I am a quick study, Lim responded sarcastically. Just because you haven't been aware of us doesn't mean we haven't been aware of you. So you spy on us? I returned angrily. Why would you do that? You people think you're the only intelligent species in the universe. Why spoil the delusion when all we want is to be left alone? Lim replied with annoyance. We had to make sure we could speak your language in the event you ever figured out how to break our spells or work around them with long distance scanning technology. We had to make sure that we were fully prepared for peace or war if contact was to ever happen between our people. I I can understand that. Knowing the history of humanity, it's really not that surprising to me that you'd prefer to stay hidden. What do you mean by spells, though? I asked, wondering if Lim had used the wrong word somehow. Spells, magic, the use of a mysterious force in which to accomplish the impossible. Apparently, humans used to use magic ages ago, and fear led to their persecution, Lim said, seemingly bored. You think you can do magic? Like what, conjure fireballs? I said with a laugh. Yes, among other things, Lim said, holding his right hand open, palm up with his fingers spread. A ball of fire suddenly burst into existence just above his palm. This is one of the simplest things to do. Here, a gift for you. As I watched, the ball of flame crystallized and dropped into Lim's hand. He extended it to me, and I took it hesitantly. It's still warm, I said in shock and embarrassment. I pretty much insulted this guy, and then he gives me this? It will always keep the warmth, but it won't burn anything. Also, it can't be broken, Lim replied quietly. Thank you, I managed to spit out. We need parts for our long-range communications device. Do you think you can help with that? You want to bring more humans here? Lim spat, getting angry. No, but do you want us to stay here for the rest of our lives with the possibility of other humans finding this place on their own while looking for us? My parents are highly regarded in the scientific community. It will be a few years, but someone would be along to try to figure out what happened to us. If we got the long-range communications device working, we could arrange a way to leave your planet and tell people that this world is infested with very hungry animals and little else, or something to stop them from wanting to come here themselves. I responded thoughtfully. I can't speak for my parents on this matter, though. If you could help us with the communication device, you would have the upper hand in the negotiations. I would have to speak to the elders. I can't promise anything. Actually, when I told my parents about you, they thought I was lying. I set out to find proof to show them, then turned a deeper shade of purple, a Kittian version of blushing. My parents were the same way. They were focused on fixing the device. They were more focused on fixing the device than listening to me. Maybe they'll listen now, I said, holding up the crystal. May I request something from you? Proof of our meeting? Lim inquired. Digging into my pockets, I pulled out a small silver coin with an eagle on one side and a dolphin on the other. A good luck charm that my grandma had given me. It will bring you luck and love if you are lucky, she had said. Thanks, Grandma, but I don't see that happening here. This is a coin my grandmother had given me. She said it was lucky, I said, handing him the coin. Thank you, Lim bowed slightly and smiled for the first time since our meeting. My heart started to flutter in my chest. This guy was cuter than any human I had ever met when he smiled. You're welcome, I said breathlessly. I should head back. My parents are probably getting worried by now. How can I get in touch with you again? You mean you'd want to? Lim teased. He formed a fist and squeezed as tightly as he could. There was a flash of light inside his hand, and as he opened his hand, a strange-looking device grew to sit in his hand. Just speak my name into this. It will connect you to mine. If I'm not busy, I can answer. A buzzing noise came from a device in his cloak. pulling out an identical device with a holographic display saying words in a language I couldn't recognize. I gotta go, but what is your name? Sorry, I forgot to ask. Shayla, I replied with a smile. See you around, Lim. I practically skipped back to camp with a smile on my face. Thanks for watching.